Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the singer's solution to world poverty. Now, before I go into the summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, in this work by Singer, we're talking about how if you live in a first world country, if you live in America, France, Britain, and you have the ability to go out, get a job, pay for your house, pay your rent, buy food, buy yourself clothes, you should have enough once you've reached the necessities of life. Once you've reached that threshold of paying for the necessities of life, you should be able to give the rest of your income to those who live in third world countries, who live around the world, who don't have the ability to work, who are poor, who are hungry, who don't have access to medical care, who don't have access to education. And by those who work in first world countries, if they donate to the world's third countries, to the world's impoverished individuals, we could solve the world poverty problem. It's a solution to solve world hunger, to solve the poverty that exists in the world. But the thing is, that is easier said than done, because most Americans, most people who live in first world countries, it's all about personal gain. It's all about building up my own personal bank account and living a comfortable, luxurious life. Now, Peter Singer, he tackles this, he addresses this in many different angles. Most people, when you see that commercial, that ad on TV with that song "In the Arms of an Angel" comes on, and you see those sad kids, they're hungry, they're malnourished, sad adults, sad kids in poor countries. Sometimes it's sad dogs, and that song comes on with a lot of different messages, a lot of different causes, a lot of different things that are being represented, and they all are basically asking you for money to help out, poor communities in different parts of the world and different parts of countries. And most of the time, people donate. Some people donate $10, $20, or whatever that's on their heart to donate. But for a good portion of other people, they skip the ad, flip the channel, don't think about it, or make excuses. And when you see that ad, your conscience is going to talk to you and say that, you have a bank account. If you have like $10,000, you can donate $100, $200. But, most people don't do it. And Singer, he's actually asking us to do more than that. He's saying that, if you make $50,000 a year, you should be able to get all the life, necessities such as shelter, food, and clothes for like $30,000 a year. And the $20,000, you should donate it to impoverished countries, to poor countries. But most Americans, most people, most individuals who live in first world countries, you're not going to do that. You're not going to donate a good portion of your income like that. And so Singer says that we have a choice, and we are choosing to kill innocent kids. We are choosing to kill people who can't provide for themselves because of the fact that we have a choice to change their lives. We have a choice to make their lives better, but we just choose not to because we want to be comfortable. We want to have our luxuries. And it's something that's very sad, because when you think about it, that commercial comes on. Now, Singer doesn't talk about the commercial. That's just my own example. For most people, that commercial comes on, it's playing, and, you come up with excuses. Somebody had to go into a studio, put the song in the background, get the camera angles, film it, and then try to convince you to support dying people. And still, even though that there's an ad of dying people that are dying, and all you have to do is donate some money to them, and most people just skip it. It's something that's really sad. But Singer does he tries to get underneath your skin throughout the essay, and he really goes against all of the excuses that you can make. Some people, because they say that I can't donate, I won't donate because my money will never make it there. The kid that I'm seeing on TV, the kid might already be dead, or I'll donate, but some shady businessman, some shady person is going to take the money and use it for other purposes. And so It goes on and on and on of all types of excuses. Maybe you say you don't have enough when you have like 5,000 saved. You say it's a tough world. It's a tough world out there. They should fend for themselves. All the types of excuses you can make about not donating. And Singer, he really takes his time. He thoroughly goes through the excuses that most people make one by one, and he tells you that you should make a donation. There's no reason not to, and if you don't, you're a horrible person. And he really gets at you. He really, he even provides phone numbers to UNICEF and Oxfam America, and I tested them out. They're in the essay. The numbers are in the essay, and I tested them out, and they do work. And he tells you have the info. He does all of the work for you. If you read this essay, he tells you need to donate. Here's how you can donate. Here's how you can live on less and give more to the poor. Here's the number to call. Here's what you can do. Stop living for luxuries of life, because most people, once you've reached the necessities, once you've paid your bills, you're buying things that are for luxury purposes. You're buying the $1,000 phone. You're buying the $500 shoes, the $3,000 wardrobe, the $2,000 suit, the Rolls Royce. If I'm saying, wow, I'm pretty sure I messed that up. But you're buying the luxury cars. You're buying the diamonds, the earrings, the fancy things. You're living a high life. You're vacationing on different places around the planet, which is something that's very, very luxurious. Even if you're flying coach, even if you're not flying first class, most people around the world, out of the billions of people around the world, most people are born and die in the same place that they existed. The same place they were born, that's the same place they died. Taking a vacation is something that's very, luxurious, very comfortable. When you have enough money to live so well that you can afford your shelter, your food, and your life, and then spend enough money to go live in somebody else's country for like a month or 2 weeks, that's saying a lot about what your finances can do. And most people around the world, most people have existed, you were born and you die, in the same place. So that's something that's very luxurious. And Singer says, you don't need all that to survive. You don't need all the latest clothing and all the freshest things to survive. If everyone in the first world countries would donate to third world countries, to developing world countries, the world, global poverty, global hunger would end, because the wealth in the world would be spread out equally. And the world would be a better place for it. But most people are not willing to do that. You will skip that ad. You will not watch In the Arms of an Angel, that video that has that song. You will flip the channel. You will do your own thing and keep making excuses. And no one can blame you, because that's what most Americans do. Singer says that the national percentage that America is supposed to send to third world countries is not even reached. And most people really don't donate at all. So that's something that's very sad. When you have the ability to change someone's life, to save a kid's life or a person's life, and you choose not to do it. But the thing is, like most Americans, you don't have to be alone, because that's what most Americans do. Singer tells us about this guy by the name of Bob. This is just an example. This is the trolley time problem. This is a classic trolley time problem when it comes to philosophy, when it comes to moral philosophy. And what Singer tells us is that there's this guy named Bob. Bob worked a lot. He saved his money. He bought a brand new luxurious car, top model, and he's preparing for his retirement. He's an American. He's going to have a good retirement. He's saved up for it. And if things ever get rough, if things ever get rocky, he can sell that luxurious car off and still live off of that money for a long time. Now, Bob goes to the train tracks. He parks his car on a train track for some reason, and there's another train track. So it's one train track that has two sides, that has two paths. On one train track, Bob parks his car, and on the other train track, there's a small boy that's hungry, that's malnourished. And Bob could pull a lever, and save his car or the kid, because now there's a train coming, there's a trolley coming, and something's going to get killed or destroyed, and Bob has to make the choice. He has to make the choice. It's either he saves the life of the kid or saves his car. And Bob saves his car. He doesn't let the train, he doesn't pull the lever, he doesn't save the kid. He saves his car. And so most people would get mad at that. They would say Bob is a horrible person. He should have saved the kid's life and all of that. But the thing is, like, that's what we all do. We all save the car. We all save the luxuries. We all focus on our individual finances and how to build them up and how to live luxuriously, because it's all about personal gain. And most people choose to save their money, make up excuses, rather to donate, because it's about their own personal gain, because, the statistics prove it. People don't donate as much as they should. The other thing that this essay talks about, the other thing that Singer talks about in this essay is utilitarianism. The basic principle, I'm going to make it very simple here. The basic principle within utilitarianism is, you want to maximize the most good for the most amount of people. So, if there's a city of 2 million people and there's a city of 1 million people, and I have to choose which city to save from utter destruction, I'm going to save the city of 2 million people because I save more people. So I'm going to let 1 million die to save 2 million. Most people, that's what you would do. So in this circumstance, in utilitarianism, most people should save. What Singer is saying, most people should save the maximum. You want to focus on the maximum of good, right? You want to save the most people on the planet. You want to save the most kids. You want to save the most lives. You want to make life good for everybody on the planet. You want to maximize happiness. What the one solution to do that is for all of the rich, for all of the people in first world countries who are well off, to donate to the poor. That's how you maximize happiness on earth and the well-being of people on earth. If everybody spreads their income out in the first world countries and help out the poor, you're going to maximize happiness, maximize well-being, and more people will live happily on earth. But the thing is, like, most people are not going to do that, because in the trolley time problem, when the details always makes a difference, because if it's personal to you, you're always going to choose yourself and your lifestyle. And so Bob kills the kid, he keeps his luxury car, and that's what most people do when you skip that ad on donating to a charitable cause, and you look the other way. Your conscience hurts, but at least your pocketbooks, your wallets don't hurt, according to Singer, and you're kind of a horrible person for it, and Singer calls us all a horrible person. So you have a choice to make. It's up to you and what type of person you're going to be. In terms of a deeper meaning, in terms of a deeper idea within this essay, in terms of analysis, Singer pretty much calls Americans horrible people, and we kind of are, because you could change a person's life, but you'd much rather pay $1,000 for that brand new phone. And you want to be comfortable. You work for it, and you should be comfortable. But at the same time, when you spend $2,000 on a brand new suit, or that $10,000, $40,000 on a brand new car, you could have saved dozens of lives with that money. But you would much rather spend it on yourself and make yourself happy. So that says a lot about human beings. Singer even says that it's kind of easier, since you're not seeing the carnage or the misery that you could save people from. You're not seeing it. It's far away. It's miles away. It's thousands and thousands of miles away. You don't have to deal with it. If there was a kid in front of you that's about to die, you would help that kid. But since the kid is in another country that's pretty much so foreign to you, you're never going to see that kid. You're never going to think about that kid in your life. So, most people will be like, you know what, skip, So that's what's sad about it. That says a lot about the human race. If something is urgent, if something is in front of you, you will give it your attention. But if it's not, if it's far away, if it's distant, if it's out of out of mind, basically, you're willing to walk away with it, even though that you know what you're doing, you know that you're making a decision to let others suffer. So very interesting essay. There's a lot here about philosophy and making choices in general, and what we can do to end world poverty, but that's not going to happen because, I mean, people just like their comfortable lives, and I can't see someone who makes $50,000 a year giving $20,000 away and living on 30,000 because you're gonna say you work for that 20,000. Why should you give it away? And that's how a lot of people think. But anyway, that is my summary and analysis on this work. Those are my thoughts on this piece. There's always much more to the story, but that's what I have to say about this. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video.